Welcome back to Beelzebub the Jag. I've used a Dremel tool. Here it is, with a steel cutting disc. It's very, very fine. It's less than a millimetre in diameter, but very successful actually. And I had the Dremel already. My wife bought me the tool for Christmas, but I didn't have the attachments. I've been out and bought some attachments, and this is what I was struggling with yesterday. This is that the fresh air, the waste air, whatever it is, from the fan or whatever comes from the cab. It works its way through the boot and goes out of these vents here. And you can see it was spot welded along here, and it was spot welded there. So I couldn't get the snips through. This is what I came up against yesterday, but I've managed to sort of cut. I couldn't get a particularly clean line there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have to trim a little bit off the panel. You just can't get the tool in. But, it's okay. Yeah, there's enough there to weld to. But this is fine. So the actual panel now sits. It doesn't, I can't, because it's now, I've got to trim off about 5 or 6 millimeters there to allow the panel to sit in, but you get the idea. But it sits in here. Let's have a look. Sit that one on top over there. There we go. It sits in lovely, and it's going to take a lot of fiddling, but you can see we've got a very, very flush fit now, and I'll be able to weld along here and dress that weld. I'm going to have to do a little bit more. I didn't think the hole was very round, but I'll sort of leave that, and I'll get it fitted in place, and then I'll sort of trim it whilst it's in situ. I'll do it with a tool on the Dremel, actually, a little circular a little grinder. But yeah, I'm very pleased, very, very pleased. But yeah, once again, it's going to need a bit more dressing. I don't think in fact, we can see that that's not straight. The panel's very straight, and that's probably 1.5 millimetres. It needs to trim away here, just to allow the panel to sit flush. Yeah, but you can see it's all over the place. Actually, it's not even slightly straight. So I'll retrim that bit. Otherwise, I'll just be filling the gaps with weld, and I don't want to do that. Here we go. But yeah, I'm extremely pleased. This is definitely going to work. And once I've got this one sort of pinned, I'll use. I've got various welding clamps. I've got magnets, clamps. I'm not sure which ones I'll use, but it doesn't really matter. I might not even use any at all. I might just hold the panel and tack weld it. Once you've got the tacks in place, yeah, it's a lot easier to sort of manipulate and manoeuvre. But yeah, there appears to be quite a gap there, because over here the panel's not sitting correctly. It just needs a little bit more of a trim on the bottom, the original bodywork, to allow and that I'll have to trim the new panel and leave more of the original. A lot of fiddling, maybe at least another half an hour of fiddling, just fine detailing, but there we go. Yeah, couldn't be happier, quite frankly. This is I've made this panel in the open air here, lying in the pavement, with very limited tools. But yeah, I'm extremely pleased. It's satisfying to be able to achieve a result. Obviously, this is a long way from finished, but I'm sure you'll agree. This looks as if it's going to work really rather well. But I can't trim that edge of the bodywork. I'm just trying to hold the fuel pipes out of the way. I can't trim that edge until this edge is completely 100% perfect. And so we do need a little bit in this corner, I'll come back to it tomorrow. It's ever so cold here. I've just spoke to my wife. She's in Brighton. It's really rather warm, but I'm 200 miles north, and I'm actually wearing look at this, like a Swedish type puffer coat. I'm absolutely frozen. I've had enough. I've done a couple of hours, and yeah, good progress, and still a little bit more to go. So it's astonishing to see it like this with gaping holes, but we'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, I'll definitely keep the original here, and I'm going to clean all this off eventually. And this boot will be completely resprayed gold, so it will look totally fresh and new. There is no more surface rust in there, but to make it completely perfect, I'll respray the whole thing. I won't just do that half. I'll redo everywhere. Yeah, very, very pleased. Very pleased.